You know who I feel bad for, guys, as of late? That's going to be a guy like now the brand new TSM Doublelift, certainly under fire for a lot of things that have happened over the past couple of months. It does kind of suck to see, though, the fact he has now become, again, maybe by some likes out there, public enemy number one, given all the drama and controversy, even leading to the fact when he actually makes a good point, he is still targeted for the TSM liquid drama. And some of you guys might say rightfully so, but it is kind of a weird thing to actually look at from an outside perspective as we touch back on many months ago when he actually was with Team Liquid. When we first talked about this, it was actually Doublelift being very open and transparent. And a lot of people really liked that about him because he's not afraid to say a lot of things, actually taking to his stream to talk about Team Liquid being a democracy, the lack of leadership, the fact that he wanted a shot call, his team denied him, amidst many other issues he was bringing to light on stream. Now, let me also, stress the fact that a lot of people like this transparency when it comes time for a management or player perspective. Certainly, a lot of people also thought this was very unprofessional and maybe stuff you just should not really be sharing with your audience because those are internal behind the scenes struggles that as an organization, you probably don't want your player out there talking about. The fans at the time, they really liked that. I would say on the flip side of the coin, many other people professionally probably saw that as something you should not do. Now we fast forward months later after all the Lena and Doublelift and Liquid TSM drama, as I'm sure you guys have probably seen here or elsewhere online, it seems that even when he actually makes a very solid point about the lack of LCS broadcast as well, which we've already talked about once in the channel, but I wanted to connect it to this as well, when he finally makes a great point about it, people can't seem to even look past the drama to address the fact that he is right, at least in my opinion. As this past weekend, Doublelift took to Twitter to say it's actually impressive how it was very possible for someone to make every wrong decision and make LCS worse to watch. If the broadcast is consistently making mistakes with the overlay, showing the wrong fiddle build, wrong replay, cringe freestyle rap, and then ends it with Sushi Dragon, it feels like a clown show. In another context, showing niche content at the end of the show would be great. Obviously has 10 times better understanding of what's funny, entertaining than the boomer running LCS, which is probably why she's not on broadcast this split. Which again, we already had a video on this channel about the LCS broadcast, especially in comparison to the LEC, and it was a big surprise to see right away, just a couple weeks back, announced that Ovely would not be a part of that broadcast. It did make a lot of people question exactly what is going on. Whenever top talent is not returning, to the top esports scene out there, you have to wonder exactly why. Those details, the point of me recording, are not out there yet, and certainly, like I said, a lot of the points he did make are true. Tons of figures out there would agree. I think tons of you guys would as well. But even then, you look at the replies and people just don't even care about the argument he's trying to make. They're strictly focusing on the TSM liquid drama. People saying things like, after the 2020 spring split, it's impressive Peter has made a number of wrong decisions and hasn't learned any humility and still wants to critique the company and brand he represents. Or another reply just straight up saying TSM forcing players into play styles, which is a direct reference of what we talked about last time we talked about TSM. I don't always have bad things to say about them, but that being Kabe pretty much coming out and saying he was forced to look at the game a brand new way, forced into a new play style. He called it a really crappy, didn't use the word crappy. He said the SH word, called it a very crappy situation he had with TSM, and now luckily actually out of that situation as well. But I will say when it comes to circumstances like this, I don't approve of everything that TSM or Doublelift has done in his past, but I always do enjoy his willingness to speak up, his willingness to actually speak what he is feeling, and I do think in this case, when it only pertains to the LCS broadcast, when you have a top figure and personality talking about how poor it is and referencing it as a clown show, you, as the LCS broadcast, needs to listen, and that is my opinion. You guys, of course, can defer from that, but especially we look towards most recently we talked about when it comes time for the Call of Duty League, I would say an equivalent, Scump. Scump spoke out about this game being very bad. He actually called the current Call of Duty the worst all time. He was ever since fined for that, and when he speaks up, though, as many other pro players have actually followed suit even before Scump, they've already been speaking up, but it's great to see a leader out there actually speak up about how bad something is, and maybe that is what starts or sparks a change. And so when Doublelift does it, all of a sudden he's the most hated man on earth. When a guy like Scum does it, it's either funny or, he's right. It's weird to see as we paint these guys as villains or superheroes just because of what they have done in their past. It does not take away from the validity of the point he is trying to make, and I do respect that about Doublelift. Even throughout all the controversy, all the drama, he is still willing, knowing that there's going to be backlash about it and his past, to speak up and try and get something changed. And so I double down and I double back a guy like Doublelift on the statements he has made. What do you guys think about it, though? public enemy number one can be a great thing. It can be a not so great thing. And Doublelift is experiencing that right now. Until next time, hope you guys all enjoy. Drink that water, drink that coffee. I'll see you guys back here sometime soon. Oh.